All right, good morning. We tested sound earlier, but we do have folks moderating the chat. So if you can't hear me, post in the chat and some folks may be able to help you figure out technical support on your end, but it sounded like folks could hear me earlier. So hopefully sound is working well for folks now. My name is Michelle Ashcraft. I'm the Associate Commissioner for K through 12 Strategy here at the Indiana Commission for Higher Education. And I appreciate you all joining us today for our first Indiana Education Value Convening. Just a few quick notes here before we get started. On the website for the Education Value Convening, we'll have someone post the link in the chat here momentarily. You will be able to find PowerPoint presentations for all of the sessions that you will see today. That is where you will also find the individual links for the sessions. So when we get to breakout time, both before and after lunch, you'll be able to find the individualized links for the breakout sessions you wish to attend on that website. Following the convening, we will also be posting recordings of all of the sessions on that website as well. So if you are interested in all of the breakout sessions today, you can go back and watch the ones that you missed based on what you choose to participate in today. This morning, we will be in this particular link for two presentations. We'll first kick off with our keynote with Commissioner Lowery, and then we will move over to our Education Value Research presentation immediately after. We'll then take a short break to give everyone time to get over to the website to click on the individual links for the first round of breakout sessions. We will not be taking questions for this first keynote, but you can post them in the chat and we will have a transcript that we will download at the end and can follow up with individual attendees as needed to address your questions. If you have any technical issues, again, please post in the chat and folks will help you, and we'll continue to post the link to access the presentations there. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Lowery for our first keynote.
Thank you, Michelle. Good morning and welcome to Indiana's first Education Value Convening. Again, I emphasize to you our first. As advocates for Hoosier students, you are critical partners in ensuring all Hoosiers have access to the opportunities education beyond high school provides. I am heartened and very hopeful as we note that nearly 800 people have registered to attend all or part of today's convening. Thank you for taking your time to be with us, and thank you for your work. We are thankful to those who are working in education, both higher education and K-12, to our employer partners, partners in government, community organizations, and philanthropy who are here today. We know this is a busy time of year, and we're grateful for your participation. During today's convening, you'll hear from the Commission staff about research, policies, and initiatives impacting Indiana's college going rate, adult post-secondary credential attainment, and graduate retention. However, at the heart of today's session is the perception of the higher education value proposition, how Hoosier students and families feel about education after high school, and if they believe it's worth it. Thanks for bearing with us. For students, education beyond high school, no matter the pathway, is at the heart of individual social and economic mobility and civil society. For our state's employers, a robust talent pipeline is necessary to fill the jobs of today and tomorrow and to remain competitive in the global economy. That's why in 2012, the Commission set a big goal that at least 60% of Hoosiers will qualify as adults with a quality degree or credential beyond high school by 2025. The reality is that we will not reach that goal and work remains to be done. We are currently at about 48%. With that, Indiana ranks 39th out of 52 states and territories in educational attainment. And over the past several years, that ranking has not improved. The Commission has identified 3 current challenges in reaching the big goal, which all cannot be addressed without improving the value proposition of higher education and its perception. Those include the college going rate, adults without post-secondary credentials, and retention of college graduates in Indiana. As skepticism about the value of higher education has grown, Indiana's college going rate has continued to decline. 53% of 53% of the high school graduating class of 2020 went to college. That's down from 59% 1 year prior to that and 65% 5 years before that. It's important to note that these figures include those who pursued anything from a certificate to a 2-year or 4-year degree. This equates to about 4,000 fewer high school graduates going to college than the year before. Compounding this challenge, nearly 2 million Hoosier adults do not have a degree or credential above a high school diploma. Unless Indiana improves educational attainment with both populations, we will be unlikely to reach our big goal. While the overall decline impacted every student demographic, some student groups experienced greater effects from the pandemic, and equity gaps remain or worsened. Indiana's Black students, who already had a low college going rate, decreased the most since the start of the pandemic, with a 7 percentage point decline between 2019 and 2020. Hispanic and Latino students were 5 percentage points less likely to go to college after the pandemic. Men also go to college at a much lower rate than women, and that gap continues to widen too. 61% of women in 2020 went to college compared to 46% of men. This is the first time in our recent history that the male college going rate has dropped below 50%. Just as important as it is to ensure we are getting enough students to enter the talent pipeline by enrolling in college, I want to emphasize and be very clear that we cannot lose focus on completions. At public institutions, roughly 45% of all college students graduate on time, and about 2/3 of those students complete college within 6 years. We must and should pause to applaud and recognize the progress our institutions have made in moving the needle on student completion. Over the past 5 years, on-time completion has improved by 11 percentage points. However, we must continue this improvement and ensure our students have the support and resources needed to move Hoosiers through the talent pipeline toward a fulfilling career. We can not only focus on getting students to go to college, we must also prioritize graduate retention. And of course, I am very hopeful that those students will find fulfilling careers right here in Indiana. A recent analysis by our team quantified that Indiana is 14th best at attracting people to come to college in Indiana. I am really encouraged about that. And frankly, the market is speaking. However, we are 40th best at retaining those college graduates. This shows that our colleges and universities are a good value, again, in the marketplace at bringing people into our state. But we have to be very intentional about getting students in front of Hoosier employers. Indiana has a robust economy full of nationally recognized small, medium, and large employers. It's time we prioritize making students aware of what is in their backyard and in the backyards of the institutions that they have chosen to attend. Whether that's through a job shadow, internship, or apprenticeship, employers must be proactively engaging with students in available career opportunities, and our institutions of higher education must be proactively engaged with employers. Higher education can be the connective tissue between the economic and education space. Rich relationships between employers and educators will only lead to better outcomes for students, employers, and our communities. Further, we must develop the connection between labor supply and demand with education beyond high school, ensuring employers have access to talented Hoosiers. We know that higher education opens doors to additional career options and the opportunity of personal prosperity and economic mobility. But it's up to all of us to make sure that Hoosiers aren't left behind. We lose something very intrinsic when too few receive education beyond high school. There are clear economic benefits that come with greater levels of education. As you see on the screen and know from your own research and articles in the press, the wage premiums are about 85% for individuals with a bachelor's degree and higher over a high school diploma. The numbers, I believe, in this slide and in this chart are clear. We also know those with education beyond high school experience additional advantages not shown on this chart, such as job stability, access to benefits, and overall higher lifetime earning potential. For employers, education beyond high school is the solution to developing a talent pipeline. Indiana's unemployment rate is at a historical low, but that rate varies widely by educational attainment. The unemployment rate for those with a high school diploma but no college degree is about 3%. As you see on the screen, it's nearly 7% for individuals without a high school diploma. And we can see from the bottom of the screen, the unemployment rate for those with a bachelor's degree and higher is about 1.9%. That percentage point of bachelor's degree holders has been consistently low, reflecting the tight situation in the labor market. Labor participation rates, as you can see also, increase with educational attainment. There is a nearly 17 percentage point difference between those with a high school diploma and those with a bachelor's degree. As you can see, it is even more dramatic as we look at the differences between those with a bachelor's degree and those with less than a high school diploma, nearly 30 points. Beyond these economic data, which are compelling alone, frankly, the social data serve as a wake-up call because we know that in terms of life expectancy, death by opioids, infant mortality, and utilization of public assistance, the numbers speak for themselves. I'll leave you with this one number that's not on the screen, and it is 12. 12 is the difference in life expectancy for someone with a bachelor's degree and higher and someone with less than a high school diploma. Despite data consistently showing the economic and social benefits of education and training beyond high school for both the workforce and the individual, the perceived value of higher education has continued to decline. That's why I believe this is a wake-up call. You will hear in the next session about the findings from the in-depth research the Commission undertook to promote why and understand why Hoosiers are, or increasingly aren't, enrolling in or promoting college. I want to leave you with this slide and be really clear that this is a reminder that the Commission is going to remain bullish on three priorities I've already mentioned, in addition to maintaining complete focus on improvements to completions. Completions, again, keeping focus there, but also understanding we must be focused on the college going rate of young people, the fact that too many Hoosier adults, nearly 2 million, do not have a post-secondary credential beyond a high school diploma, and that we can and must do better in terms of retaining college graduates once they complete at the institution they have chosen. Again, I am bullish on these things. If nothing else, the attendance of today's gathering reflects that. In addition, the support that we have heard from many of you and others who are not with us today is heartening. I believe everyone here today has a role to play in this movement, and I know Indiana is up to the task. Thank you for joining us today and for everything you are doing for students, your place of employment, your community, and the great Hoosier State. Thank you.